Well, I would say at Aspen, I think folks will be looking for a little bit of love pills and a little bit of can perhaps to swallow the love, and then maybe just a light cigarette while they hang out.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Different Leaf, a show for new and experienced cannabis consumers. I'm Brit Smith. This episode, we're talking about the social experience of marijuana while shedding a light on the first consortium of LGBTQ-owned and operated businesses in the cannabis industry. Joining me today are the leaders of Farnsworth Fine Cannabis, 1906, and CANN, who have banded together with Different Leaf to form the nation's first Queer Cannabis Club. We'll be chatting with Alexander Farnsworth of Farnsworth Fine Cannabis in Western Mass, who's also the founder of the Queer Cannabis Club, Jake Bullock, a co-founder of CANN, California's top cannabis-infused tonic drink, and Jim Freeland, chief of retail development at 1906, a Colorado company that makes fast-acting cannabis pills with extremely targeted effects. The Queer Cannabis Club will be holding its first ever in-person event at the W Hotel during Aspen Gay Ski Week, which kicks off on January 16th. So thank you all for being here today. We are really excited to be a part of this project, the Queer Cannabis Club, which is about to do its first ever in-person event. So Alexander, I want to start with you as the man who founded this group. You said the reason for the Queer Cannabis Club was to highlight the need for LGBTQ plus representation in the legal marijuana industry, where there are at the moment a lot of multi-state operators who are kind of every June, we just see them jumping on that pride bandwagon. And since we know it's important to be conscious about where we spend our dollars, that's kind of why the QCC was conceptualized. It's been a way to support and give a platform to queer-owned cannabis companies so that we can highlight the underrepresented LGBTQ folks in the cannabis industry. So how did all of this start for you?
Yes, so the Queer Cannabis Club's inception was during Pride Month of June 2021. Farnsworth Fine Cannabis had opened its doors in March. So it was our first Pride Month as a LGBT-owned and operated brand. And we kicked it off with going live on Architectural Digest Instagram and had, a great response, had an activation with the Trevor Project, and then our Instagram got shut down. And it had nothing to do with, Pride Month specifically, but it's because the last thing we posted was a lineup of products that had a charitable give back to LGBT causes. And at that point, I became very disappointed with Instagram. And I just felt like we, as cannabis companies, and especially as queer cannabis companies, need to have a platform that we own and control, because we have an audience that deserves to be spoken to and connect through cannabis. And so that was where the idea for the Queer Cannabis Club came from.
So now we've got 1906 involved, we've got CANN involved, and Different Leaf, all queer-owned companies in the cannabis space. And you guys are going to be getting in touch with actual physical live events. Like we're kind of ready to socialize again, which is really, really exciting. We've been stuck inside for coming on to 2 years now, more or less separate from each other. And cannabis is such a social experience. So hopefully we're going to start seeing a little bit more connection through cannabis. Let's talk about the Aspen Gay Ski Week, which is going to be happening from January 16th to the 23rd. Jim, how is 1906 going to be reaching out to the folks at Aspen next week?
Yeah, so we're really excited to be back. I've been with 1906 for just under 4 years, and one of the first big activations I worked on was Aspen Gay Ski Week in that January after my first year. And we had the most amazing experience just really connecting with the community during Ski Week, and worked with a partner locally in Aspen who was working with Aspen Out. And what we really found was just like having the opportunity to be in a space with our queer brothers and sisters and openly being able to talk about cannabis was such a cool opportunity. And just sort of taking it beyond the dispensary, because not everybody has been to a dispensary, number one, or knows what to expect about a dispensary, and kind of demystifying the experience of what that looks like was really a great piece of our outreach. And so I look forward to that again. We're going to be activating in the hospitality suite on Sunday, welcoming people to town on the first day of the event, and talking about some charitable give backs that we're doing with Aspen Out and a local dispensary partner there, where we'll be giving back 20% of our 1906 sales during Aspen Gay Ski Week back to Aspen Out to really help with the community in the Roaring Forks Valley in Colorado.
That's awesome. And you're sort of in that area as well, right? Is the company based there?
We are based in suburban Denver. So I guess I'm the closest of all of us today, but a super opportunity to get up in the snow and the beauty of Aspen and, just really celebrate the season.
Especially for those who are going to be part of the Queer Cannabis Club, who want to be involved in this way of socializing with each other and using cannabis. Jake, your company CANN, instead of alcohol, substitute for sitting around socializing, drinking together. What is it folks can enjoy about replacing alcohol with the 2-to-1 THC to CBD ratio seltzer that you guys offer?
Well, I think, maybe the first and most important piece to this is alcohol is one of the worst things that we do to our bodies. And it was something that my co-founder, Luke, and myself were experiencing very viscerally as we got older and having hangovers that felt unsustainable physically and also mentally. The emotional regret piece should not be forgotten from hangovers as well. And I think those really led us down a road of, what are the alternatives that we have? Our social structures are built around alcohol. And so are we really going to deviate from that? Or if we choose to not drink, say in one night or 1 month or 1 year, it feels almost as if we're removed from the socialization that's happening. And so that was really tough. We weren't going to stop having fun. We were not going to stop, enjoying ourselves. And so it really created this empty space. And I think cannabis in some ways provided the answer to us. And I had grown up in Colorado, and so very excited to be back there next week. I think one of the things that we learned early on in the industry is a lot of the products were kind of pushing in a direction of potency, more concentrated, more THC. It's legal now. Like, let's, get that bang for our buck. And the reality is most consumers don't want that. They want something really mild. They don't want to be too high. It's sort of like we joked, walking into a bar and drinking all the alcohol you're going to drink for the whole evening in the first 10 minutes. That doesn't make any sense. You'll be drunk. Where's the fun in that? And so we created a product that brought the dosing way down, 2 milligrams THC. It's really a controlled, approachable dose. It lets consumers decide how high they want to get or what they want to feel. It also integrates really well with alcohol. We are an alcohol alternative, and lots of people choose not to drink alcohol at all, but others drink it alongside friends that are drinking alcohol. And it helps bring folks from cannabis, which often has this sort of mystique and stigma around it. It provides a bridge really to the mainstream to be able to walk over and come see what cannabis is all about.
Have you guys heard that term Cali Sober?
Yes.
Yeah, this is kind of what I consider myself. Like, don't touch alcohol. I don't touch a lot of other drugs because they were problematic for me. But when it comes to cannabis, I think that I can let it just relax me. And you're right, like 2 milligrams is, especially when you balance it with CBD, is often all you need to not have that crazy paranoia that you'd get from too much THC. So these kinds of products I find to be perfect for social situations. A lot of folks get like social anxiety, and cannabis can worsen that. So I really love to see products like what Farnsworth has and CANN and 1906, where there's actually a balance and you guys have thought about targeted experience for the user. Alexander, the elegance of your company's products, you guys have brought to the market something that I don't think a lot of other folks have considered, which is pre-rolled cigarettes. Another thing that we do socially, besides drinking, is smoking. And I think there are a lot of folks that sort of shy away from that roll in a joint thing.
Well, certainly in terms of elegance and Aspen, I think they go hand in hand. And perhaps Aspen Gay Ski Week is one of the poshest gay charity events I'm looking forward to discovering for myself. But like Jake said with CANN and also some of 1906's products, is that when we set out to create our line of cigarettes, we started with the Light, which is a product that you can consume, and you can go about your day, and you can continue to connect with the people that you encounter and not feel too high. And so we try to demystify the strains and focus on the effects being a light, a classic, and a bold. So going from light to strongest, similar to how you would with like a box of Marlboros. You have a light, and then you have the Marlboro Red, which is the strongest one. So making it easy for consumers to understand that, because I love cannabis, but there's nothing worse, especially when you're out socializing with your community, to just get a little too high and uncomfortable.
For sure.
Especially our light cigarette is fantastic for socializing and for feeling a bit of ease, but still being functionable.
Are they a CBD THC mix? Are they different strains?
Yes, so it's about 7% CBD and 13% THC.
So this is what we're seeing really across all of your products, is this really balanced feel that you're going for. Jim, all the different experiences that 1906 products offer, you guys have from like a caffeine infused pill to a bliss, a euphoria pill, to a midnight, a sleeping pill. What do you think it is about this targeted experience that everybody's really enjoying right now?
Yeah, thanks. I love the synergy across our brands today on the podcast. It's so cool to see this. And, I think that, we use a line, highly functional, and, we're really celebrating the fact that you can bring cannabis into your lives no matter what you're doing. And that's really shown across our 6 experiences that you just began to talk about. And, we use a phrase, the 1906 day. And, it really starts with midnight, because every great day begins with a good night's sleep. And midnight is our most popular product. And it's really about, like getting yourself recharged and waking up feeling refreshed. And that gets you going for your day. And as you noted, then you can start your day with Go, which is our energy formulation. And it does include some caffeine along with some other plant medicines to help kind of with that jittery feeling that sometimes people get with caffeine. And it allows that not to be as big of an issue. So perhaps you want to, in the new year, not drink as much coffee. Go could be a cool alternative for that. If you need a little extra, pep in your workout, Go is a great thing to take before you go, to the gym or your yoga class or whatever you choose to do. One of our newest formulations is called Genius, and it is for brain power, and it incorporates rhodiola and bacopa specifically for cognitive focus. And it is a super low dose at 2.5 milligrams of THC and CBD, along with the same energy stack as Go, along with the 2 plants that I mentioned. It's incredible, just to help you through your work day. We have gamers who love this to help them go to the next level.
Nice.
It's super cool, and it's becoming one of our most popular formulations. It's fun to think about the juxtaposition of talking about cannabis and making you more productive in your workday. I think is a great way to celebrate, how far we've come with bringing cannabis back to everyone. You mentioned Bliss, and it's definitely one of our most popular formulations, especially for people feeling a little seasonal affected disorder, as like the sun is out for a lesser amount of time. It's cold, it's snowy, whatever. Bliss is all about like bringing the happy back to your life and really celebrating the best moments. Certainly will be one of our most popular experiences during Aspen Gay Ski Week, no doubt. Love, which is really the celebration of love, however you choose to express that. And, we really start with that saying, like, no one could love you better than you can love yourself. And that's where it begins. And, we celebrate all kinds of love. So we really will use that as a powerful message during our time in Aspen, celebrating however you choose. Again, a super low dose at 2.5 milligrams of THC and CBD, along with 4 other plant medicines, which really help, kind of bring you out of your head into your heart and opening you up to whatever experience you choose to have.
Perfect.
Chill, one of my favorites, just sort of helps at the end of the day to take that edge off. Again, instead of reaching for that, bottle of wine or liquor, whatever that you will probably regret the next morning, chill instead with a little help from some magnolia root extract will help kind of, calm. It's our 1:5 formulation. So 25 milligrams of CBD to 5 milligrams THC. It is a great thing to wind down and just like get you ready to have like a restful night, not locked into the couch, but just like set to have your own time. And that brings us back to,